I'm grateful to have this opportunity to lead this group. This is major for our organization to have playoff appearances 2 out of the last 3 seasons. And it's been up and down the last couple weeks, to be honest, and a lot of prayer, a lot of trusting, having faith, and it leads to this point. And this is what the journey is about: is believing in each other, having faith, going out there, doing what we need to do to win.
And just winning one at home, how important was that after the struggle y'all had?
It was important. I want to. It's contributed to the shoot-around that we had here at the arena, just reversing our minds, making us think that we were on the road. But it was huge to get a win here at home. It's been a struggle. I think the last 8 games or so, I think we won 1. So it was big time for our guys to pull together and get this win.
Yeah, I know you talked about it a little bit at practice, but can you just describe what the past few days have been like as far as you and B.I. just getting on the same page about, that Lakers loss and then making sure he was in the right mental space for this game?
Yeah, we had a good discussion about the past 2 Laker games and, how do we move forward. And he was great. He was absolutely everything that you would want your players to say. He talked about it in that discussion. And his mentality was that he wants to be better. He wants to be the best that he could possibly be for this team. And this is a moment that he wanted to step up and prove that, and tonight he did.
How important has that relationship been with y'all to kind of have that as a foundation of what y'all are building here?
It's extremely important. It's my responsibility. Number one, I'm here to serve, and that's leadership. Is if these guys need something, if they want to talk, if I want to communicate to them, like just being open and honest, but also being loving. And, B.I. was ready. Even if I didn't say anything to him at all, he still would have been ready.
Christian talked about, JV going through some ups and downs. Naji's another guy who went through some ups and downs with his playing time. How big was his contributions tonight?
His contribution was he was another guy that stepped up right away, and you can feel his presence in the game. And honestly, all of these guys, all season long, we can go down the line, but they've all contributed to wins, and they contributed to this journey, and they're all important to what we do. And it's refreshing to see the results, and the results is being back in the playoffs.
And Willie, to Will's question, how fitting was it that your bench really came through? It seemed like Jose, Naji, and, of course, Larry really impacted this game.
Our bench has been they've been really good, really starting that Phoenix game. They've taken off, and they're a big part of our team, big part of what we do. We rely on their speed, their ability to turn the game inside out. Jose, Naji, climbing into guys defensively, playing with speed and force. Larry, so huge effort across the board.
And then I think B.I. picked up his 3rd foul with about 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Did you have a little bit of discussion with him? Did you think about taking him out at that point?
Yeah, I told him I'm taking you out, and he said, "No, I need you to trust me." So, that's the relationship part of it that he and I, along with the rest of the guys, you build a relationship, and that's a moment where I said, "Okay, I trust you. You better not pick up your 4th," and he was able to play through it. Yeah.
I think there was a 1-13 or 1-for-14 start for Sacramento to start the 4th quarter. What did you think about the defense there, just to kind of set the tone for that last 12 minutes to kind of set you guys up?
Our defense has been the foundation of this team since I got here. That was one thing that I was adamant about as a coach, is making sure that we're a sound defensive team, because you can win games like this. And our offense has gotten better, but our defense was off the charts tonight. Contesting shots, flying around, getting 50-50 basketballs, contesting, rebounding the ball. Just across the board, our defense was at a high level, and that foundation allowed us to win this game.
I know you've barely had time to process this game. You have such a quick turnaround time for Sunday. How do you prepare yourself going into just 48 hours and then you're playing the playoffs?
Right now, we're going to enjoy this moment tonight and soak it up, relish this opportunity that we just had, and then tomorrow we'll pick up and get ready for OKC. Okay, thank you guys.
Appreciate you.
Yo, what is it, like 11:30?
Yeah, right early.
What a treat. What a treat. Gotta love TNT games. It's the best. Shall we?
You guys have been one of the better benches in the NBA all season. What makes, I guess, that group of you, Naji, Jose, other guys, unique and makes you guys, what your identity, what it is?
Our fire. Our fire is what it is. Jose and Naji tonight were electric. They brought the same thing they brought all year. Jose is a spark plug, and man, if one day I got to play against him, I'm just gonna hate it. So, and Naji, the professionalism he's shown to be out of the rotation the past few games and come back in when Z goes down and perform like that tonight, that's a guy you want in your locker room. All 30 teams should want a guy like that in your locker room because he's professionalism. He stays ready. The guy is awesome to have. Our bench, and even Trey. Trey is in the starting lineup tonight, and he's been off and on starting lineup, due to injury. But, that's really our core four. Dyson sometimes, Hawk sometimes, Matt Ryan sometimes. But, that's our core four of our bench. And it's been a lot of fun. I love those guys. Playing on the same court as them is just energy, and fight. And that's what this team needs.
Yeah, Tuesday was just kind of a gut punch on a lot of different levels. How did you guys mentally just turn the page and be ready for it tonight?
Nobody felt bad for us. We didn't. Obviously the Lakers are a good team. They got some pretty decent players over there. But we're confident coming into this one tonight. Obviously, it helps that our record against this team helps. It brings a little bit of confidence and brings a little bit of swagger that we carried into the game, and really happy to be going to Oklahoma.
You spoke to it a little bit, but just can you describe just how difficult it is for guys like JV and Naji, who kind of had their minutes up and down the past few weeks, and to be ready for this type of game to contribute the way they did?
I've said it before, I'll say it again. JV is one of my favorite teammates I've ever had. The guy brings his hard hat every single night. He played, 84 now of a regular season? 85, I guess, if you include the play-in. So 85 in a regular season, played them all. That's awesome, first off. And second, this is a career starter. My man's been 12 years of deep playoff runs, and to come to this team and be willing to give some of his minutes for the better of the team, whether it's me or Dyson at the 5 or her, whoever it may be. Just speaks to him as his character as a person and as a professional. So he's been one of my favorite teammates I've ever had the pleasure of playing with. And again, Naj, I said it before, that guy, I hope he gets. I just cannot wait to see him in this playoff atmosphere. He's the type of player that thrives off this, physical, unselfish, just brings the energy. So playing alongside him, JV, Jose, obviously, it's a great team. A lot of fun.
You guys went through a lot of ups and downs to get to this point, but what do you think it means for this group just to get back to the postseason and be able to show what y'all can do on that stage?
We deserve it. And that's how we felt coming into this game. That's how we felt coming into the last game, that we deserve to be in the playoffs. You don't win 49 games by accident. That doesn't happen. You don't just slip up and do that in a historic conference. You don't do that. We're a really good team, and we deserve to be here. So we showed that tonight, and like I said, we're really proud to be going to Oklahoma.
Brandon's had two of his not better games coming off of that injury. To see him come out the way tonight, what did that mean for you guys, and see him kind of set the tone a little bit early?
When B is playing, it gives us all so much confidence. When he is, first of all, coming off that injury is really tough. There's a lot of pain associated with a bone bruise that you just can't put a finger on. It's it's there though. So the fact that he's out there battling with us and warrior, being a warrior for us is comforting. His presence is. So him being out there tonight, he could have gone over, and just him being on the court would have given us confidence and energy and belief. But B.I. is a leader for us, a silent leader. But, he is a leader for us. We follow his lead, and in every single game I tell him, be the best player on the court. And tonight, I believe he was the best player on the court.
Hey, Larry, when this team's going through adversity, what makes Willie so good at kind of navigating y'all through it?
He's got an uncanny ability to know when to slow down and when to slow down and when to, we were about to watch film pregame, and he's like, you know what? We've played them 5 times. Nothing's changed. We know who this team is, and he gave us a speech that left us ready to play. And that was one of those moments that you just have to have the feel for. And as a coach, he certainly has that. And that's, I think that speaks to the human element of it, where he just can read the room and tell what we need. And, again, 49 wins, happen by luck.
Can you give us a little snippet of the speech?
TNT cameras were in there. They got some. They got some of it. But it was, powerful. Just one of those that, he stopped speaking and we were like, let's go. We all felt pumped up and ready to go. So, like I said, he's got an uncanny ability to know when to slow down, speed up, and the human aspect of basketball.
In the third quarter, Herb is on a 2-on-1 defensively on the weak side, gets a steal. CJ hits a transition 3. Then the next play, Brandon gets a block, and then he hits a transition 3. Can you speak to Herb's ability to kind of play in these tough matchups and his ability to kind of rise to the occasion?
You talking about the drop steal where Keon had him trapped on the sideline. He broke through that, kicked to CJ in the corner. Okay. Look, first team. First team. The guy is, if you could design the perfect player to play in today's NBA basketball, it's Herb Jones. My man is shooting 40-some% from 3. He guards the team's best players every single night. He's 6'7" with a 7-something wingspan. He deserves all the flowers he's going to be getting this year, and I think he deserves more. He's physically, you can't back him down. Mentality-wise, the dude's ready for every moment. Wants to take the big shot. He's another guy. I know I talked about the rest of my teammates, but Herb is deserving of every award he's about to get.
Larry, you touched on this a little bit, but how much are you looking forward to? When you guys made the playoffs 2 years ago, several of your guys were first-year players or second-year guys. How much are you looking forward to Trey and Herb and Jose and Naji getting a chance to be back in the playoffs?
Yeah, those are the moments that prepare you for this. We get to go to Oklahoma and play another young team. So it's going to be energy, athleticism, youth flying all over the place, and that's something that we can hopefully lean on as a advantage for us, is that we do have some experience in the first round of the playoffs in big games. Trey's obviously played them. Jose, Naj, myself, CJ, of course, BI, JV, loads of it. So. We're that playoff experience hopefully will come in handy, and when the game gets tight, we've been there before, so we'll stay calm.
Larry, you have a guy like Jonas whose minutes kind of go up and down game by game. Naji, who hadn't played in a few games, contribute greatly tonight. Just kind of talk about the character and professionalism of your teammates to stay ready when the number's called.
Yeah, that's our job. That's our job. At the end of the day, it's it sounds cliche, but you can only control what you can control. And, sometimes certain matchups benefit players, different players than yourself. When we're playing big centers, I'm 6'7" on a good day, 6'8" in shoes, and so, we lean on Jonas, and that's part of the game is, certain matchups, certain players, and those guys have, just taking it in stride. The fact that, some games in, some games out, some games more minutes, some games less, some games, you make a mistake and get pulled. It's all part of the game, and I think that's those two guys, looking in the future for them. That's a trait that I hope a lot of teams take notice of this summer, and these guys get rewarded for what they've done this year, because they deserve it, really and truly.
Larry, we noticed Zion yesterday after practice. He's really attacking his rehab already, and he looked really engaged today. I'm just curious, did he have a message for you guys before tonight's game? I know after his injury, you guys all talked to him personally, but since that time, has he said anything to you guys about tonight or potentially OKC?
Z is more of a one-on-one conversation guy, not a group message or speak in front of the team person, but he had his conversations with each individual and just more, again, he's a little bit like BI, where just his presence is a source of energy for us. Him being out there with us and cheering us on, and Z's got the $1 million smile. So we all just, when he's out there and excited, we are too. It's I told him to rest up, stay healthy, rest up. We hopefully we make it far enough where we can get back.
I know you're still celebrating this win, but just your initial thoughts on OKC.
I said you don't get 49 wins by accident. You don't get to the number 1 seed by accident either. That's a good team. That's a really good team, and Shea is an MVP caliber player. Obviously, Jalen Williams is. They got 3 guys that are up for major awards, and any of them could win it and be deserving of it. Obviously, Jalen Williams has had an incredible sophomore year. Chet, better than advertised. They've been, and obviously all their pieces in between are really good as well. You don't get to the number 1 seed by having just 3 guys. But again, youth, athleticism, energy, they run. I guess not 4 guys up for major awards too, because their coach has done a hell of a job with that team as well. So we got a ton of respect for him, but respectfully, I'm betting on the Pels. I'm not betting. No Johnson. I'm not betting. I'm not betting on anything. I don't own a betting app. None of that. Nah. Oh, shoot. It was good, man. It was good. It's for whatever reason, that's just been a bugaboo for us all year. It's been monkey on our back all year, and for whatever reason, it's just didn't help that we played Bron and AD in do or die games. Those are 2 guys that are pretty hard to beat in closeout games. So it was nice that we our last home game before we come here and play again in the playoffs, we won in a playoff atmosphere, and fans were great tonight. But I saw a few seats open up top. We got to get them filled. We're going to need everybody. Everybody screaming, yelling, and booing the OKC Thunder. We need it. Sweet, guys. Thank you.
you don't see 6-0 against a team very often. What was just good about this matchup for y'all, do you feel like?
I think we just matched up well against them all season. We played them with different lineups, with different guys in and out of the lineup, and I think from an execution standpoint, we just executed really well 6 times.
How did you guys mentally turn the page after everything that happened in Tuesday's game?
I watched some Netflix. I was watching Martin last night. It was pretty funny. Sometimes you just gotta do what makes you happy. Play with my son, play with my dog, kick it with my wife, work out, get a lift in, and get ready for the next game. But I think for all of us, it was just understanding that we lost a golden opportunity to a good team twice, and we still had another golden opportunity in front of us to try to take advantage and give ourselves a chance to be in the playoffs.
And last time y'all made the playoffs a couple of years ago, most of the guys, that was their first or second time ever, being in the playoffs. How different are y'all now compared to that team that played Phoenix a couple of years ago?
I'll speak to. Is my mic? My mic. All right, whatever. I don't need it. Yeah, thank you. I'm good now? All right, cool. Okay. Anyway, so I think that last team, I think we were just happy to be in the playoffs. If, at least from my perspective, I don't know about CJ, I can't really speak for him, but I know for us, we were happy to be in the playoffs, and that, earlier run in my rookie year, this year we're trying to make a run, and, I just think we're just way more experienced and have just gone through a lot more as a group, and we're just prepared to make a run.
How much do you think it kind of changes y'all when Jose and Naji are, just causing havoc with that second group and just, creating turnovers and all that stuff?
Yeah, no, they come in and they bring a lot of energy. They up the pressure of the game, change the tempo, and, they just, really hype us up as a team. And, their contributions, sometimes the stat sheet might not show it, but you can feel it throughout the team. And so, just really proud of Naji going through those. He went through like a 3-game stretch of not playing and then coming in and just being ready when his number was called. So, that's just him.
When this team's going through a little adversity, how has Willie sort of handled, just keeping you all steady and, how's he kind of navigating you all through that?
Yeah, Willie's consistent. He's the same whether we're winning or losing. Obviously, the intensity of practice kind of shifts. Film sessions get more intense, and you get a better understanding of what he's trying to accomplish. But he's a former player, so he understands the moment. He understands the ebbs and flows of the season, the ups and the downs, and he knows that we all trying to compete and we all trying to win. I think he respects that. But at the end of the day, you're gonna follow the guidance of your coach and the temperament of your coach too. So if he panics, typically the players panic, and I think historically he's done a really good job of being even keel, even in the midst of chaos.
Is there, OKC's a familiar opponent in the sense that they knocked you guys out to play in last year, and now you guys are meeting in the playoffs.
Damn, that's the energy you're bringing into this.
How to feel if there's any energy from your guys in there. Are you approaching it from, hey, we want to maybe get something back here, or is it just another opponent in front of you? You got to prepare for it the same way.
I would have preferred to have not had to play 2 meaningless games against the Lakers, and I would have preferred to have beaten the Spurs and clinched a 6th seed and been able to work out and rest for a week. But it is what it is, and now we have a unique opportunity to play in the playoffs against a really good team. And I think for us, I've turned the page. What's done is done. This is a new team. This is a new situation for us collectively, a new situation for them. And I don't know. They won almost 60 games or 50-some games. They're a really good team playing at home, but MVP caliber player, a defensive player of the year type of guy, and then another guy in Jalen Williams, who's also really good. So I think for us, it's just another opportunity to get better and to play in the playoffs and compete at a high level.
Trey, you spoke about the difference of 2 years ago as a group for you guys. What for you individually? How much do you look forward to this playoff opportunity? Compared to when you were a rookie, you were kind of just still getting your feet wet in the NBA at that point.
Yeah, no, for sure. I probably had like 10 good games under my belt at that time, like before I started playing in the playoffs. And so now, like, I've got accustomed to the NBA game. I know how to contribute to winning, and Now I'm just excited for the playoffs. I know that was some of the most fun basketball I ever played my rookie year when I was in the playoffs. And it's just so much attention to detail and so much focus on every possession. And, this is where, you really make a name for yourself and, try to put your team on the map and go far.
Can you guys touch on B.I.'s performance tonight, coming off of, 2 subpar performances for him?
No, I thought he was aggressive. I think he had the right mentality coming into the game. Obviously he had been hurt and trying to reintegrate himself into the offense, into the flow of the game, conditioning-wise, rhythm-wise. And I think he had the right approach, getting downhill, making plays. Defensively, he was great. Got a couple of help side blocks. Was attentive on both sides of the ball, and I think he played a complete game. He didn't need to go get 40 or 50. He needed to just be solid, hit big shots, and get stops. And I think he did all of that, and just showed who he really is as a player.
Trey, you kind of filled up the stat sheet in different categories tonight. Just did you know coming into this game that they're going to run you off the line a lot, so you might have to make your impact elsewhere?
I had pretty good feeling they were going to run me off the line, me and CJ included. Just listening to their, post-practice pressers, their main focus was running guys off the line. And so for me, it was just playing the game and, making right decisions, with spacing, driving towards CJ's side. A lot of times you're going to have a lot of space, and after that, just making a read after that. So I think that was what was helpful for me.
Going back to the playoffs from 2 years ago against Phoenix, it seemed like Larry at that point had only played like 8 or 9 games in the regular season, but he was huge in that series in a bunch of different games. You feel like tonight was kind of reminiscent of that as far as him just coming through in such a huge spot?
He was all right.
Am I supposed to comment? I thought Larry did a good job of taking up space, rebounding, creating extra possessions. I hope he's watching this. No, he's a player, man. He knows how to score in the pocket. He knows how to hit the weak side. He understands his role and how he can be successful. Obviously, defensive pressure on myself, B.I. is going to shift as the playoffs continues to evolve. There's going to be heavy pressure. Pockets going to be open, and I think he does a great job of finding his open windows and just being a really cerebral basketball player.
JB had a really good night tonight. I think 19 and 12. Can you talk about him not getting all the minutes that he probably should get sometimes? And
it's about that time.
Yeah. Also,
last question.
What episode of Martin were you watching?
I started from the beginning. So I went through, I was on the table last night with my guy getting some work. We went through about 6 episodes, and I just forgot how funny he was with the monologues. And just while we talk about Martin, one of my favorite episodes is the one where they celebrate the anniversary, and he thinks it's their anniversary, but it's the anniversary of him saying "I love you," and he doesn't get her a gift, and he's trying to figure out where he can get the gift from, and leaves her in the house for 2 hours, and goes and gets a gift for her. And I just thought it was hilarious. Martin, I'm the man. You're too young for that.
All right. So, thank you, fellas.
Next question.
I mean, how good does it just feel that after all the adversity you guys went through this week to be able to get this done tonight and go back to the playoffs?
Well, it feels good. This was the goal at the beginning of the year, and throughout it, we had some injuries. We had different things happen, but we had another opportunity today, and we came in, and everybody contributed.
When we talked to Willie in practice yesterday, he said, Brandon was in the facility getting up shots the day after the game early, had a great practice. For you, how did you just kind of turn the page after Tuesday and get ready for tonight?
Well, just by going back and looking at film, putting the work in, I knew how important this was for not only me but this whole organization. And, I just tried to be ready. I knew I was going to be ready today, whatever it took on the offense and defensive end. I knew I had to communicate with my teammates and continue to communicate throughout the game, and that helped us out a lot.
And you talked about communicating with your teammates. Willie talked about the communication y'all two had one-on-one.
Yeah.
How important is having that relationship where y'all are able to express to each other how y'all feel during moments like that?
Well, not only that relationship, but I think it's very important for all of us to communicate. Honesty, especially what we need on the floor, our habits off the floor, our discipline, everything that we need to be together and trust one another. We only trust one another when we see guys do things over and over and over again. And, we get to see the consistency every single day in the gym when guys go in and practice, and how hard they go in their workouts and how hard we go in our practices. So the communication is important, especially if you want to continue to have success.
And y'all made the playoffs, a couple of years ago, and for most of the team, that was their first time ever being on that stage. How different is it going to be for y'all this time, just having that experience, different level of confidence going into this first round?
Well, I think the good thing about going into this playoffs is we've had a lot of tests with me in the lineup, without me in the lineup this year, and we'll be prepared. We know every possession counts. We know what we got to do on the defensive end, rebounding the basketball and pushing the pace. So this is a time for us to just try to be extra locked in on everything that we need to do. And our margin for error is lower without Z. And so we got to come out and we got to attack. And we got to be the aggressors.
We know the relationship you've developed with Naji and Jose over the past couple of years. How much do y'all just kind of feed off of the stuff they do and the energy they bring on the court?
Yeah, it just feels like they always in the right spots at the right time, and they always bring energy. Jose always brings in energy. He changes the game. Naji changes the game in a big way on the defensive side and pushing the pace, and they got high IQ, so they find the right pass on the floor and they know when to go score. So those are the type of guys I want to be around. We're from feel like we're from the same place. Feel like I've known them for a while. We're similar to each other, so we go out and we show heart when we go on the floor.
JB had a good night tonight, 19 and 12. Speak to kind of his performance tonight, and also, he doesn't get, a ton of minutes at times, spot minutes, but then tonight he has a huge night.
JB, he's just been a professional, not only this game, but throughout the season. Him not touching the floor sometimes in the second half, him not being in the game as much, he never, he always got a smile on his face. He always trying to hype somebody else up, and that's hard to do. That's hard to do when you in the league for so long and you've been producing for so long. And for him to come out and be ready tonight, it was big. And we know the type of nights that he has against Sabonis, and it was good to see that again tonight.
Yeah, with about 4 minutes left in the second quarter, you picked up your third foul. You looked pretty adamant about wanting to stay in the game.
Yeah.
Why was it so important for you to stay out there at that moment?
Because I thought I can control the game. I thought I controlled the game the first quarter, the second quarter, and I knew that it was about time for us to go on the run. And I'm not sure the score, but we might have been up 8, and I know we could have pushed it to whatever. And I just wanted to stay on the floor and be a part of it.
This is your second time now going to be in the playoffs. You've talked about working to get there and showcasing just whatever it takes to win. Just what are you hoping to get out of this, and what are you hoping to show the world that this thing is doing?
Everything I got, just giving everything I got every time I step on the floor. Making sure when I leave the gym that I stay disciplined and in my work and keeping my mind and my body together. But just going out there and doing whatever the team needs to win.
Hey, Brandon, Willie talked about how bad you wanted this game. So can you kind of put in words how bad you wanted it, and also just how frustrating was Sunday and Tuesday for you?
Yeah, well, I go out with a knee injury. It's been one of my healthiest seasons. And I was out for 3 weeks just watching and just trying to stay disciplined. It's hard. Just trying to stay disciplined, trying to stay locked in with the team, knowing that I wanted to be on the floor. Losing some of my conditioning a little bit, and I was just trying to stay ready. That was about 3 weeks that passed. Just coming in and try to play 30 minutes after all that and be locked in. I was, of course, hard on myself, but because I didn't think it mattered that I just came in after, a knee injury. And those first 2 games didn't go how I wanted to go, but I just wanted to give it all tonight and trust my teammates, trust myself, and we ended up winning.
I know you're still celebrating this victory, but just your initial thoughts on going against OKC.
They've had our number this year. We know that Shea is going to bring pressure all night on the offensive end. They have a really, really good team with good defensive guys. Jalen Williams, he's grown over the year. Chet, rebounding the basketball and can stretch the floor, shooting the 3. So, they have weapons. They have Isaiah Joe coming off the bench who can shoot 3s. And Josh Giddey, who does a lot of things on the floor, He's knocked a lot of big shots down when he plays the New Orleans Pelicans. So we just got to be prepared for all of that. We got to go into OKC with a sense of urgency, defensively especially, and then just try to find our best offense.
B.I., you spoke generally about the impact of some of the bench guys, but what did you think specifically about the impact that Naji made tonight as far as just kind of swinging the game in the first half?
Yeah. His defense, him defending the basketball and having pressure and making people uncomfortable. He made his, whoever that Naji was guarding today, he made him uncomfortable. And it helped our team out a lot. He got stops, he went down the floor. He made good passes, he finished the ball. And, that's what he's been doing for us all year. And I think he will continue to do it.
Thank you.